All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Kenneth Price, and this is Sunday, September 10th. And this is our Sunday morning Zoom call for our beloveds doing this. There must be somebody else on board. Let me do the gallery view. Oh, Marcy's on board. All right. So, this is our Sunday morning Zoom call for our ministry, psychiatricsobriety.com. And this is the 5-minute introduction. Who am I? What is psychiatric sobriety? Why do we assemble? What do we do? I was just talking with Beloved before I began this introduction, and I'm going to share with the introduction what Beloved and I have come down to. We're not we're very simple, you guys. We're people who got caught in mental health, and many of us got caught in pharmaceuticals. Nothing went wrong. We got ourselves unstuck, and we come from a place of experience, and we come from a place of deep love, and we come from, let's see, what's the best way to put this? We're healers. We're wounded healers. We're wounded healers because, kind of like, Bilbo Baggins, when he got back to the Shire and wrote down his memoirs, there and back again. That's our story, folks. There and back again. But once Bilbo got back to the Shire, he had to write his memoirs. And once we emerged from mental health diagnoses, from pharmaceuticals, we not only have to write our memoirs, we have to share the nuggets and the amazing miracles and all the wisdom that came from that harrowing adventure. So that when you're on your harrowing adventure, you can realize it's simply a harrowing adventure, and it's not truly the nightmare that we thought it was, that we believed it was. We're here to pop the bubble of fear, folks. Fear is what got me sick, and love is what got me well. Bingo, in a nutshell. That's what Beloved and I were talking about. We were talking about the power of love. So I started this about 2 years ago. I don't have a whole bunch of, I don't have psychological, I don't have ministerial credentials. You don't need psychological, you don't need ministerial credentials. Love simply extends when two or more are gathered. And this has been working like magnificently for 2 years. And so we're just going to, Spirit says, keep going. All right. What do we not do here? We don't problem solve, we don't fix, and we don't offer advice because we don't have any advice. All of what we do is disassemble the fears, and all the wisdom that you already have will come up and show you what needs to be directed in your story. So. Also, for harm reduction purposes, the disclaimers. I have the name of this psychiatric sobriety, but please understand, we're not telling anyone that psychiatry is bad. We're not telling anyone psychiatry is wrong. We're not telling anyone to exit psychiatry. We're not telling anyone to get off their pills. We, we're simply presenting an alternative. We, in our story, that we discovered there was an old paradigm and there was a new paradigm, and there's a bridge connecting the two. I want this ministry to be the bridge so that you can all have the same miracle that I experienced. I didn't quit psychiatry. I didn't quit pills. They quit me. I outgrew them. I found something so much more powerful than magic. The Course in Miracles calls it magic potions, but I'm not going to go that far. All right. Speaking of the Course in Miracles, many of us who come on board are Course in Miracles students. So I want to give a heads up for that. We generally discuss, a lot of principles from that, but whatever spiritual path you have chosen that will succeed in ameliorating and disintegrating fears, I want to hear about it. Okay. All roads lead to Rome. Okay. So that being said, where else do I want to go with this? It is being recorded for YouTube for 1 hour. 1 hour. After that hour, I turn off the recording. So I will leave the Zoom room open. But one of the things I want to invite everyone to do is here's how I emerged from all of that. I stopped caring what people thought. I stopped caring about the reputation of the dream character. And that's when the magic really began to take off, because then I was shown it was only a dream character. It's like I'm concerned about the reputation of a cartoon character. When I realized it was simply a cartoon character, I said, you know what? I can just share everything on YouTube, and next thing I know, the miracles and synchronicities began to accelerate. I want that for everyone else too. All right, so that was my 5-minute introduction. We got a new member on board, Danny. We got the regulars, Marcy, Beloved, and Kathy. Before we begin, I've said it's a ministry. What do I mean by a ministry? Is it Christian? Is it religious? No, it's not, because if Christianity works for you, and if it's working to solidify your faith and to ameliorate your fears, that's fine. But I'm going to keep this one basically spiritual. I'm not going to call it religious. We'll call it spiritual, but I have to call it spiritual because it was grace ultimately that pointed me how to emerge from that cocoon. I won't call it darkness, because people think darkness is bad. No, it was a cocoon. It was a necessary cocoon for my own transformation. I'm going to rewrite the narrative for everyone. So, being that it's a ministry, here's how we start every Zoom call with the healer's prayer, which goes like this. We are here only to be truly helpful, and we are here to represent him or her who sent us. We do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he or she who sent us will direct us. We are content to be wherever he or she wishes, knowing that he or she goes there with us. And we will be healed as we let him or her teach us how to heal. I can't keep the miracle unless I share the miracle. It's called extension. There's no reciprocity here. This is not operating under the laws of supply and demand. These are God's laws, by the way. All right, so let's see. I did that one in 7 minutes. I went on a little bit longer. I want to introduce everybody to a wonderful new mighty companion who I just met yesterday. Talk about grace. His name is Dan. It says Danny here on the YouTube, but he introduced himself as Dan. And here's what I want Dan to share with us, real briefly. Dan has got courage. He's determined to walk or to graduate from the pharmacological experiment. And when we talked yesterday, Dan, if I could be so forward as to share a little bit, but I'll let you share the rest. But he was out in the sunshine with his iPhone. That's what I love about this. We can use just our iPhones to connect, and he was exercising. And what I said to him, we think prayers are like, dear God, help me, dear God, help me. Well, I think a more powerful prayer, and I said this to Dan, is that if we're out there exercising, the beloved's going to jump on this. If we're out there exercising, we're not asking, we're telling. We're telling Creator, I'm going to get out. I'm going to move beyond this. I'm going to surmount this, and I'm going to emerge from this. I don't want to ask Creator anymore. I want to tell Creator. I'm sorry. Dan, how are you this morning? Can you share with us? It's good to see you again, buddy.
How's everybody doing? I'm all right. Again in the morning, man, I went out there and put some weights on my backpack. 20, 30 pounds, just like I did in the Marine Corps. I'm a Marine combat veteran. I'm fully disabled through the VA through my combat experiences in Fallujah, Iraq, back in 2007, 2008. That's when I was in theater, in country, in war, whatever you want to call it. They have different terminology for it, but yeah, it's pretty much, I guess, the root of the cause of, starting to get into that, tiny little evil pill. Never thought I'd be here, man, trying to officially label myself a drug addict, because that's officially what I am now. You know what I mean? A drug addict. Not even intentional, not even with any sort of malice or anything like that. It was just my anxiety was bad. Let me do this, and it went away, man. You know what I mean? It went away. But I kept on doing it, and here I am, and I'm trying to be proactive instead of reactive. I think a lot of people do that. A lot of people just expect to sit at home and taper off something this strong and just withdraw from the world, and that's not. I don't think that's the way to do it at all. I think you probably even cause more damage that way. To your central nervous system is from I think you got to stay busy. You got to stay busy. You gotta, like I said, And like for me, the way I'm doing it, I am having like the withdrawals. Like I went from 2 milligrams of Klonopin, I went down to 175, and I'm actually lowering my dosage in a couple of days. You know what I mean? No big deal. So, um, I mean, I'm taking kratom, which a lot of people frown upon because it does have some sort of addictive personalities to it. But I'm taking it with a lot of precaution, not a daily thing. But it was also, well, the other thing that's also helping me, like I'm not telling anybody to do it. I don't know if anybody's actively tapering in this group or you guys are done or whatever, wherever you're at. Kava is another thing too that really helps me, and I also microdose on cannabis. So I mean, I'm doing everything I can because it's like I told Kenneth yesterday. I'm like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this once. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this again. There's no way. So I'm utilizing as much tools that I have at my disposal, and if it's some people could question it. Like I know, like me and Keith are in that forum, and the other one, the taper forum in Facebook, and I said it a couple times, kratom or microdosing cannabis, and everybody's up in arms. Oh, but it's addictive. You're addicted to benzodiazepines. Sometimes you gotta choose the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? To be able to sometimes, it's just. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but if the use of cannabis for 4 or 5 months can get me out of this, then I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? I'm not hurting anybody. It's alcohol's worse than cannabis, and it's legal. A lot of states it's already legal for recreational use. Where I'm at, we're still behind, and why the reason is to that is, I mean, I don't know, politics, I guess. They can't, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, like I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it my way. Like I said, I went to a psychiatrist and they just wanted to pump me with more drugs, Busporin for anxiety and Prozac. So that right there would probably help me get off this. But then I got to get off of those. So it's just a whole, you know what I mean? It's just a whole. It's just it's a complicated situation with these doctors that we have. They just want to peel you up and just let you go out there, and then it's actually very it's been very eye opening experience how many people are actually going through this. There's millions of people right now that are taking it, and I would say tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands tapering as we speak. You know, well, we do only hear the horror stories. There's a lot of people, like my story is not going to be yours, and yours is not going to be mine, because everybody's body, everybody's situation is going to dictate how long you're taking it. Like I know Keith told me, his story. I mean, I don't want to throw it out there if you haven't, if they don't already know, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm just, and it's not like we have cancer, it's not like this is gonna be terminal thing. This is a temporary thing, I'm aiming at 90 days to get off of it, and everything that I'm taking, hopefully, yeah, it goes a smooth transition. I'm like I said, I'm dropping doses again, and next week, and 15 days after that, I'll drop again, and I'll keep on going till I'm at point 10 and celebrate, and then zero.
Danny,
Yeah.
I usually keep a pad and a pen, but I don't have one because I'm in bed. But I did take a few notes here on my iPhone. If I could be so forward as to give some feedback to what I heard, which is very valuable for this Zoom call and this YouTube recording. Buddy, you use the word tools.
Yes.
And from, yeah, you got a yes. Well, I don't know where that yes came from, but when when we put ourselves out there and make the decision to heal, this is where it gets very abstract. But this is why I want to use this as a method of encouragement. We are inviting the tools to find us. And this is what I want to encourage people to do. If they've made the decision to surrender the pharmaceuticals, like I did, and everyone here is doing, we start the process. You can't just go off your pills. You've got to tell the universe, or that you want to emerge. Tell the universe what you want, which is what you're doing, and why I wanted this recorded. I especially wanted you to come on this morning. And the tools are going to start arriving. And my purpose as moderator and facilitator is to start pointing out exactly, because sometimes we're by ourselves, we can miss it, but it helps a mighty companion to point out. The first tool,
Yep.
Dan, is you and I got connected.
Mm-hmm.
That was no accident. That was no, coincidence. It was a synchronistic response to a prayer that you said, that you basically, this got to be a better way. And
yeah, I mean, I have been praying more. So, take it with a grain of salt, or take it how you want to take it. But you can't receive if you don't ask. You know what I mean? That's simple as that. And like I said, I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. He saved me. And if I may share a very interesting story, where I knew for sure that that he's the Lord of light. He's the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. So I've also dabbled in cocaine. I did it I already stopped everything. This is the only thing that I'm doing, and a little bit of cannabis. So I don't consider that a drug. It's natural. It's not hasn't been tapered by or tampered with by human beings like all these other trash that we put in our bodies. So I remember one night I had done more than I should have, right? More yayo, more cocaine, more whatever you want to call it. So man, my heart started going. I was pretty sure I was gonna die, or overdose or whatever, and it was easily 200 beats a minute. So my vision started, getting real weird, and I started feeling like my knees, and I was going in and out of the house. I was alone at the house too, so I didn't help. I was in and out. I get in the shower and try to snap out of it, try to calm myself, and try to do breathing exercises and just doing everything I could, man. To stop this, to stop the devil from taking my life, right? Because that's pretty much what it is, man. So yeah, I mean, it was getting me, and I was outside, and I was about to collapse. My knees got real jello-y. I was about to go down. I swear, And then you know what I did? I asked Jesus to save me, and as soon as I asked Jesus to save me, as soon as I asked Jesus, please make it stop. Please make it stop. As soon as I said that, within seconds, my heartbeat went back to normal, and I could not control it for like at least a good 5-7 minutes. It was just as soon as I asked him to stop, it stopped. So,
that's a great story, Dan. I'm going to get to some of the others. I can't say thank you enough, but before I do, seems like psychiatric sobriety. I don't know. You're new, so I'm a 12-stepper from back to the 80s. But one of the things we said, and it's not applicable for advanced spiritual circles, we said when we got busy, we got better. That's what we said in the program in the very beginning. So applicable here. Later down the spiritual, we're supposed to stop being busy, and but at this point, I often am in the same boat. I have to stay busy, keep the body functioning, moving, so that I don't spend too much time up here. There will come a time when I'll be able to sit with my own thoughts and do a lot of, deep diving. But on many days, I still need to stay busy. All right, who wants to go next? Kathy, Marcy, beloved. How'd you like that from Dan? It's pretty good stuff, huh? We got three beautiful women smiling. Marcy, what'd you think about that?
Awesome. I'm so excited that we have somebody new here. It's like, I know that feeling because I'm the new person, whatever. And it's so, at least for me, it was so nerve-wracking to come on here. It's like your guts are all over YouTube. I mean, everyone can see, and your sharing was so amazing. You are doing so good. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like I'm being guided to what I need, to do. You know what I mean? Like, I just got out of mass too. I haven't been in mass in years, and I was just there, and I left a little early to come and talk to you guys. You know what I mean? It's okay. Like, I know the guy. I'm gonna see him on Wednesday for a group. He has his own group with a lot of troubled people from the hood, because that's where we're at. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm not feeling, I feel like this is where I need to be and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna question it, you know?
Yes. Yes, you just follow the arrows where it's leading you. And this group is it's such a soft place to fall. I mean, it really is. And you need that. Your body's going through what it's going through, and, it's feeling pretty intense for you. And I mean,
Yeah.
look at you. You just went to
Yeah.
mass. You got this
Yeah.
group, got something going on. I mean, you're rocking
Yeah,
it.
man. I'm gonna be starting a job soon too, and that's where I'm implementing all these tools, right? So I can be able to like it's like I previously said, a lot of people just stay home and they pretty much just stay within themselves, and that's not, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the answer at all, at least not to this. You gotta stay busy. You gotta keep your mind occupied, because that's how you overwhelm yourself, is by just being at home and expecting for it to get better. Proactive,
Yes.
not reactive, guys. You know what I mean?
100%.
Dan, you just got the name. We don't have a title for the Zoom call until after it starts. You got it. Proactive. Proactive.
Proactive. Yep.
That's the name of this YouTube archive.
I always,
Proactivity.
I always, I always have a plan. I always have a plan before the storm comes. I guess, for a lack of better terms or analogy, whatever. But yeah, you gotta have a plan. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, because I mean, pretty much where all of us are, because we didn't. Like I said, I didn't expect to be here. Like, it was a harmless little pill, man. And man, don't take it for 5 days, and wow, look where, whoa, you have an experience. But yeah.
And our experience, and you said it yourself, there are many people who will be finding it necessary to walk away from pharmacology. And what we're doing, Dan, is by posting our stories, our authentic stories here on the internet, we're helping, we're demonstrating our courage, and it can only come back to us tenfold. This is going to create a snowball effect. Others are going to say, well, if that man can do it, I can do it. And the other thing is, buddy, you're going to come back. This video will be on my YouTube channel for as ever long as the YouTube's up. 6 months, a year later, go back and revisit this archive, and you won't recognize yourself. That's another thing we get to do with these archives. We get to see our own progress.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun. Like I said, I mean, I know I've talked a little bit too much already, but like I said, my plan is 90 days, a 90 days taper. I know a lot of people. I know, like I said, me and Kenneth are in the other group. A lot of people are doing a years, and I'm not gonna mention any names. I'm not trying to put anybody out there. A year, 2 years. You're just dragging the withdrawal symptoms, man. You know what I mean? Everybody is different. I get it, but honestly, I would say, I mean, everybody is different, though. I mean, you got people taking this thing for 20, 25 years. You know what I mean? I mean, just what does that do to your central nervous system? I mean, for me, I took it for a year and a half, 2 years, and I'm getting some pretty gnarly withdrawals. So imagine somebody taking it for 20, 25 years at a high dosage too, 4 milligrams of clonopin or 20 milligrams of X or V, you know what I mean? Like, imagine when they start coming down. Like, I got another buddy of mine too. He took it for 11 years. 11 years. That's wow. Like, it's
We're
insane.
actually, what we're doing here is we're systems busters. And these are all this is the way the allopathic model works. Is you go back and you compare what the scientific evidence is in the past, and you predict the future. There is a better way than that scientific allopathic model. We're going for the gold here. We're going for miracles. I highly discourage anyone from. It's important to plan, but I also want to invite people to review, some of the miracles that I posted on my own YouTube channel and website, to know that we're actually shooting for miracles here. And it's a complicated discussion, so that's why we've got all these recorded. I'm not saying that Jesus is going to poof you out of something immediately, but Jesus will. This is the point I want to make before we go on to Kathy and Beloved. It's not like the miracles fixed my body. The miracles gave me a new way of perceiving what was taking place. The miracles opened up my heart in such an expansive way that the body became, I grew large. This is what I told in my early videos. The withdrawals didn't go smaller, I grew larger. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different way of looking at it. And I'll just kind of leave it on that soundbite. Kathy, you were doing this, and I'm not sure if you wanted to speak or if you were trying to draw your fingernails.
I'm just really excited. I want to welcome, so do you like Dan better or Danny?
Yeah, Danny, whatever you prefer.
Can I call you spiritual gangsta?
That works. I used to be a gangster when I was a younger man. So
now you're
works.
Spiritual gangsta. Well, welcome. I relate to your story, and I honor you. I appreciate you being here because
Thank you.
The more the merrier. It's great to have you.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that can absolutely, benefit from this. But like I said, it's kind of like what Marcy had said. They fear the unknown, and that's why they taper for 2-3 years, because they fear of them being without, because they've been on for so long.
I went through a bunch of tapers, and they were all unsuccessful, and I decided to just jump off one day. But I also used tiny little microdoses of mushrooms, so that changed my neurotransmitters and healed, and that was my success story.
Yeah, that's like I've actually been looking into that to looking into microdosing shrooms, because it helps rewire you, and that's what the business have done.
Yeah, we can chat about it like on
the
chat.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm in Toronto. Wow! I made it to school, found a place to live. I'm living with a beautiful Asian gay couple. It's pretty wild. So yeah, I'm in music school again. It's crazy. I'm following what my soul wants. It's not easy, but I'm here, so I'm grateful. And that's all I really have to report.
That's awesome.
Can I share with the group? This whole thing started as an experiment 2 years ago, and I realized the way to flow this ministry, these calls, is to see where it's supposed to go. You know what? Maybe I'll run this by. You know what I feel this is more than anything else? This is a drop-in center. How does that sound for everyone? I realize that people just like to drop in, and I love that. How are you, beloved? Your turn.
Greetings. Welcome, Dan, Danny, Gangsta. I'm offended, Kathy, because I thought I was the original OG spiritual gangster, right? But apparently not. Sorry.
I took your title.
God, looks like it.
I think we all are.
I think that is true. What I'm feeling is the common denominator here. And it sounds like it's tapering. It sounds like it's psychiatric drugs. It sounds like it's a mental illness. But that is not what it is. We're here for the metaphysical emergence, which has put us on this path of leaving. We had to leave them behind. I mean, why? You just said, Danny, millions of people are on these drugs, and they don't even think twice about it. But what made you stop and say, it was your higher self. We're all gonna get that nudge. I wasn't on any drugs, but guess what I was on? The belief I was bipolar. And I believed that for years and years. And, I didn't even know what it was. So I had to research it so I knew how to act like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like I fed my own story.
Yeah.
So I'd like to clarify one thing you said, Kenneth. We're here for truth. Our experiences show us there's a truth here that equalizes us all and in this journey, because that's what we want above. We think we know how to fix our little caterpillar life, but that is not possible. So just have fun, enjoy your life, live your life the best way you can. But you're not going to be fixed. The ego don't want to be fixed. The ego wants chaos. It wants you happy, sad, drama, this, that, trick you, psych. No.
And can I jump in real quick, beloved? I want to make a connection between what you just said and what Danny has been sharing. Danny, in our chosen spiritual path, the ego is synonymous with, the Christians call it Satan. So if you hear us using the word Satan, and if you want to tie it into the path that's working great for you because you're following Jesus, Satan is used by Christians, but the two words can be interchangeable. It's just that ego goes into more metaphysical, psychological, that where Christianity keeps it in a more basic vernacular. So anyway, I'm sorry, beloved. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, we're just not fixing beloved. We're not fixing Kathy. We're not fixing Kenneth. We're not fixing Danny. We're not fixing Marcy. We're not fixing any of that, because we're not that, and that's what we're finding out. And besides believing I was a person and personality, then I had all these diagnoses and I'm just a bunch of made up baloney and trying to believe it. It's gonna fall apart. Hallelujah. Falling apart looks like you're going crazy. That's a good thing. That's what we're here to say. Yay. Good thing.
The caterpillar's dissolving. I keep going back to that analogy. It's coming back to my awareness over. Nothing's going wrong. Caterpillars are supposed to dissolve. Look what's happening to Danny. He's gone from gangsta to spiritual luminary, and he's just beginning. I can only imagine. That's why I want him to watch this video in 6 months to a year. Buddy, you're going to have your own ministry soon. That's not
powerful.
That's not caterpillar. That's butterfly.
Yeah, it's like I told you before, man. Like, I've seen the lack of resources, especially when it comes to this particular drug, man, and how there is none. There is no resources where they're just like, like I said, I even called a couple of rehabs myself, and I told them my situation. They're like, well, I need a taper, at least a minimum of 90 days. And that's what I want to do. That's, and well, we can get you off in a week. I'm like, in a week? I'm like, that's not how, no way, man. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that, dude. And they were like, well, then it sounds like this is not the fit for you. I'm like, so okay. And I told the dude, I'm like, so where is the fit for me, dude? If you're telling me that you're not, you can't do it, I'm like, well, can you put me to a rehab that does work with something like this? Well, all the detoxes are 7 to but we can do 14 days. I'm like, you're just not listening, dude. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it was definitely losing my energy, man, trying to explain to these people what it wasn't to my psychiatrist. Even him, he gave me Prozac and Buspirone for the withdrawals. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to taper from that. So and then I'm gonna need something to help me to taper from that, and then he's gonna give me something else, and then I'm gonna have to taper from that. It's a never-ending story, man. So that's why I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna do everything I can. It's kind of like how is it Kathy? Like she went and she did her thing with the shrooms, and there's a lot of tools out there. There really is. You just got a lot of natural stuff that are way better than than big pharma. They just wanna throw pills down your throat and keep you sick. That's what they want. That's where the money's at, right?
Well, and also one of the things that we do here, Danny, is we do this is very difficult to communicate, but very essential, because the way I emerged was I delicately, and if you're following Jesus, I think he's one of the best way showers to do this with, is I conceded that I chose to take those pharmaceuticals. If I say it had something to do with the psychiatrist, and I'll keep looping in the problem. Now, if I do that with a luminary, one that's powerful like Jesus, he will take the ball and run with it, and he will turn the shit into fertilizer. And by that, what I'm saying is I sense in you've got the proactive, you already said the word proactive, you've got the proactive archetype that you are going to then go back, when your emergence, begins to blossom in an exponential way. You're going to go back and you're going to do something about it. You're going to go back and say there was a problem, but now that I've emerged from the problem, I'm the perfect wounded healer to begin making changes. Now, I did want to go into something that Beloved said. I actually took a note. Beloved, you used the word, you said, feed my own story. And one of the things that I've not shared with this group yet that took place, one of the first signs of my emergence was a woman. I'll mention her name. Her name was Holly Hakes Peterson. She was a drug and alcohol counselor, and I had been through 2 treatment centers already, and I was up against the wall because I was being hit with a lot of, go back and make amends to everyone you'd harmed. And I said, this is way too soon. I was dealing with trauma that had surface, and they were telling me I need to go. They weren't telling me that, but all I could hear from them was go apologize, which was, telling my ego to try and it was a very no fault, no blame to the treatment center because they had so many people. But when I prayed, Holly came into my awareness. And it was a simple book that she had self-published. She called it Recovery, a New Story. And when Beloved said, I think you said story, a new story, it reminded me that Spirit, synchronistic, sent Holly into, because I had been, that treatment center, I needed more than the treatment center could offer, and Spirit rushed in with Holly in that very simple book. Because what was happening in the treatment center was, in the recovery movement, was people were telling their stories. And I'd heard enough stories. And that's where she stepped in and she said, we're done telling stories. We're ready to write a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Go, Kathy.
Woo! First of all, I want to say hi. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Beloved. Hi,
I'm so proud of you.
Hi, Dad. Oh, thanks. I'm just super inspired to sing a song that'll last about 2 minutes. I know there's always a song, but whew, I don't know. I'm really excited. I don't even know if I could do this. Okay. Can we all take a deep breath together?
Mm.
Ah. Okay, you ready? I am light. I am light. I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am not the mistakes that I have made or any other things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race, my soul inside. All light. One more. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Danny, I apologize. we have a new name for this YouTube archive. I like your name, but you got to admit it's gotta be Kathy. I am light.
Yeah, I'll
Hey,
step
Dan.
down, man.
Kathy, I got you on YouTube, so you're famous already. I don't.
It's not my song. It's by India Ari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's a nice song.
it's your Kathy. I've said this to you before. Your spirit, your soul. I don't have to. I can build things, but I've never.
I think she just said what the common denominator is here,
Yes.
is that we're light. So
Yes.
there's no fixing light, and it's already perfect. And what I did is I wanted to separate myself and just make up some shit that wasn't true.
Mm.
You know, so light became this. And I had a story, and I was bipolar, and I acted like it, and I just recently dropped it. I mean, look at this drug I was on. I was on this, and I defended it. I believed it.
Mhm.
Somebody telling me that they met me once and said, "You got this.
Yeah.
Here's what you need."
Mm.
You know, it's we have to rewind the whole thing. What happened before the narrative started, before I started taking this pill, before I had a name for what I was feeling and wasn't able to, this society isn't to help you deal with that. You're supposed to be all fucked up all the time. That's how we function here. The only way out is mind training. That's what we're here for, A Course in Miracles. Without A Course in Miracles, I'm going to say it was discipline. Discipline here. We are a loving group, but we work. We take 100% responsibility. Yeah. We don't blame nobody.
It's sort of like this. I want to add to, because I like where Dan's going, and I want to keep going in that direction. What we're actually laying the groundwork here for, and it's just the next further step is, instead of protesting pharmacology and psychiatry, we're simply going to unemploy pharmacology and psychiatry, because this is so much more powerful.
Amen.
The light is more powerful than the stories we've been telling ourselves. But this is also important. We had to write our stories. Dan, you had to write your stories about, cocaine and gangsta. Kathy, you've shared your story. Beloved, you've shared your story. Marcy, I'm going to get your story. Everyone knows my story. Let's Get Out the Violins, came out during the AIDS pandemic, litigation with his family on. But these are beautiful stories because they got us into a cocoon so that we could begin the transformation to realize what Kathy just sang for us, because that's not us. You can't just be good and virtuous and nice and go into a cocoon. It won't work. You have to start to realize there's got to be a better way to, and that's what, Dan, when your heart was beating at 200 beats per minute, your prayer was sincere. Jesus, help. I can't do this. Help. And he doesn't, I don't think Jesus hangs around, and says, if someone says, "Dear Jesus, can you help me get a better car?" Or, "Dear Jesus, can you help me get a better job?" I think Jesus is like, wait, I think he's got better things to do when people are saying, "Help, I'm dying." I'm making it simplistic. And because we're all to the place where we're saying, "I'll do anything." And that is the prayer. I'll do anything. And he says, good, because I will put you to work. I will be your new employer. I will tell you where to go. I will tell you who you need to speak with. I will tell you what you need to do. He said, and we become, and you use the word, Dan, and I love that you're on this call, because we're Course in Miracles students, and we use the word guided. You're a Christian and use the word guided. Perfect. I want to bridge the Course in Miracles with Christianity, because we're both going in the same direction, just a little bit different metaphysics. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have a message. I have a message. So I'm new here and I'm still tapering and whatnot. And for me, for my journey, like the way my head works and my brain, like I want to get all into controlling everything. And, you know, I would like be, I have purposely avoided going on these tapering groups or even reading about tapering. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we go to our
Oh yeah.
doctor and whatnot. But you know, I have that kind of personality too, and I think you kind of have to be really determined and really like you're putting your all into this, and you're, you know, you got this goal in 90 days and you're going to do it. I know you will. I'm
I hope
very
so, man.
similar, you know?
It's definitely yeah. I think we'll be all right. Like I mean, I think the what I got going on right now it's good as far as like my plan of action. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely working out to where I'm losing like so much weight. Like I think I lost like 20 pounds in like 2 weeks already. Yeah, I mean it's also hard to eat while you're tapering. I know you know that. I
Right,
have
right.
no appetite. Like I have no
Yes.
appetite. So like just
Yes.
eating something is just, man, it's so hard to eat. And you know, but yes, ma'am, you're absolutely right. Like, as far as like the forum groups and like watching, that's the first thing that I did, and that's the first thing that I shouldn't have done is
You know
going on
what?
YouTube and yes, ma'am.
Yes. You know, this group is, you know, because we don't like get into your business like that. Like, we're not going to tell you what to do. So, like, this is just my experience for me. And my guidance, okay, so like I was asking for some guidance on my tapering to spirit, like it'd be a prayer, you know, like,
Mhm.
okay, listening to what my doctor says, but at the same time, I'm going to follow spirit. So the guidance I got, I was going for a walk, right? And I'm on this beautiful sunny day walking around Marina, and something made me look at somebody's license plate. And somebody had taken nail polish, and around the rim of the license plate, they they painted a message in nail polish. It said, "The turtle wins." And that like really hit me. And I'm like, ooh, spirit. And I'm like, oop, there's my message. Slow the you know what down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the message. And before I got that message, I also got another message to kind of like rest in God. And I didn't. I was too aggressive with my tapering, and I was doing too much because I was excited, and I'm like, ooh, I'm getting better. And anyway, so my experience, I'm sitting here, I've got ice on my leg. I'm injured because I exercised too much, you know, and we're
Mhm.
like trying to deal with tapering. We're trying to deal with all this anxiety in our body, and I'm finding that like you going to mass this morning and you're connecting with this group and you're saying, I've got these tools, you've got your exercise, you've got, you know, I mean, you're so on the right track. And I guess my little uh, advice, or what's kind of I'm learning the hard way, and I don't want you to hurt yourself or go too fast, or is the turtle wins. The turtle
Yeah.
wins. So we're going to win. It's guaranteed. We will.
Mhm.
So, anyways, that's just my.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
don't
think
that would like.
that's very valuable, Marcy. And I'd like to throw something else in here. For me, again, I'm a fitness professional, and in our business, consistency wins the game.
Yes.
I've seen them come hard and fall harder.
Mm-hmm.
Just put that there. And there is rhythm that allows you to just exercise consistently at a certain pace that does everything you want. You don't have to go to extremes, and this is from a bipolar expert of going to extremes. And I did it in every area of my life. Okay, it wasn't just my behavior. It's how I worked out like a maniac, and so I as a tool Tai Chi, and it's things that you don't want to do. We all in it. I'm the worst. I don't have no patience. I'm always in a rush. I'm always, God just don't understand. I don't know why he wouldn't chop this up, you know, but he apparently ain't asking me for money, you know. So point taken. But I would, you know, I have invented what's called rhythm walking, and I'm doing it. I just did it this morning. We went for 3 miles. We're doing it's long distance dancing to house music. So no, I invented it. This is what the brilliance comes here. You don't know what's laying on the other side of your mental illness or when you get off, when you're free, your whole world is anyways. So it's just keeping the beat. It's hard to keep the beat. I'm going to tell you, you think you can do it for 3 miles. You think like marching, but you're keeping the beat. This is what we do. We keep a beat for 3 miles. Try it. It's a whole different experience, because what it does is it allows your frequency to rise high enough and sustain long enough for the endorphins to hit in. And let me tell you, endorphins help heal me. That's what I did when I got the diagnosis and they put me on the drugs and stuff. Some kind of way, spirit led me to physical fitness. So I started working out, and that was my path. And so I used those tools and found out how, you know, physical fitness truly has supported me. And we all know we all can do better, whether you got cancer, whatever is going on with you. How are you eating? Are you drinking your water? Are you taking care of yourself? Or do you even care about yourself? Are you even loving yourself?
Yes.
That's what we're all here for. We're here to know that we wasn't doing that anyways. And we just got a wake up call however it came. You know, some people get it this way, some people get it that way, you know. But it is our wake up call. We're here to wake up. We are light. Don't, you know, I thought I was running the show, but God, thank God, consistently shows me it's not possible. You know, to know your place is humbling and comforting. And we have a lot of faith here. So faith is really a bedrock here. We have to have faith, not fear. We have faith. We build our faith. So faith gets us, and that's metaphysical. Faith, miracles, grace. We use that word grace. This is our tools. Those were my tools. You know, I was on my knees. I love Marcy. When I'm on my knees, my ears finally opened. Here, you know? Yeah. So, but yeah, we're like on the metaphysical tool bar. You know, that's where and everybody has that, because we all have heart. We all have capacity to love, open, embrace, because you can't lose what God created. You can cover it up and pretend you're something else, but it ain't true.
Now I'm in a little bit of a bind here, because 2 more topics just came out that I want recorded. You know, we have, you know, first we had proactivity, then we had the light, then Marcy said the turtle wins, and then Beloved said endorphins. There's 4 topics out of 1 Zoom call. Good going, everyone.
I just wanted to mention that I put the songs in the chat that you can copy. The second one is like, just by listening to it energetically, it slows you down. So it's really good.
I'll get those in the description.
Please listen.
Thank you.
You guys, I couldn't be more thrilled. Do you realize, when I was watching a Byron Katie video yesterday, she solidified that every person who comes to her and does the work, she does the work with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to anchor that. I get to do the work with Beloved, Marcy, Danny, and Kathy, you know, on a Sunday afternoon.
And that's key, because when I do rhythm walking, I'm rhythm walking with them. Yes. I'm not different. We're synchronizing. That's what we do here with the prayer, the healer's prayer. All this comes from us gathered here. It's not one, it's just this synergy here
there's number 5. We're what was it? We're synchronizing. Now we got 5 topics. We're synchronizing. That came through you, Beloved, because that's exactly what's happening. That's the new story. Our story. what we're sharing with the world. You know, nature abhors a vacuum. Yeah, the psychiatry went, too far this way. Perfect. Spirit said, open up this new channel, open up this new door. It's not a new channel. It's not a new door. It's just for people who've been on psych meds and benzos. Like we were.
I thought we had mental illness.
We thought we had mental illness.
Yeah.
If you find us, it's for you.
Yes.
It's for you. If you find, because Danny, this is a hard find. I mean, I can't even tell you the weird way me and Kenneth met, and this is my little brother now.
We have no idea how any of us met. We were supposed to meet, and we were supposed to have.
Yes.
I was under the, I started this off thinking I started this off with my caterpillar paradigm. I've got to advertise. I've got to, I've got to create, and life coaches told me, oh, and you got to start charging. You got to get a product. You got to have an outline. No. We're operating under, this is a different operating system. There are new rules. When we're supposed to meet and connect because we have an assignment, we will be connected for that specific assignment. They're healing assignments. I use the word emergence over healing, but healing is the vernacular that most people like to use. All right, you guys, we got about 4 minutes left. How do you want to wrap this up? I couldn't be more thrilled.
I'm a spiritual gangster, raise it up. I'm a consciousness warrior, raise it up. I'm gonna write a song for the group.
Everybody just keep going, and whoever, I think, was it just me and Marcy that are tapering at the moment. Yeah, like I heard you say, like the turtle wins the race and all that, but I also believe that there has to be a healthy medium. You know what I mean? There's got to be a healthy medium too. I know people that like when I was watching like the YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like I've seen people that were on pills for 12 years and they successfully got off of it in 6 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm not aiming for that because I don't want to go through unnecessary suffering or whatever. But there's got to be a healthy medium. And I got that from that forum group that me and Kenneth are in. And yeah, I mean, there are people talking about years and years and years and years. I mean, I just feel they just fear not being without that pill. They fear being without that pill. That's what it is. That's all up here. I don't think you need that long. And honestly, I think maybe max, I would say maybe 6 months. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. I'm coming down. So I started at 2 milligrams. Then I went down to 175, and I did that for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go down to like 1.6 and then 1.4 and just keep on going. And once I get to the 0.5 and all that, but I already know that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Even though 90 days is not really that long, time flies. By the time you know it, I've been telling you guys, you know what? I'm on my last week. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that day.
One of the things I was so hesitant to ask you yesterday, Dan, but I finally came out and asked. So I asked you your age, and then I got a little bit of a chuckle. You'll be fine. You're young. Well, you're younger than us. We're all you. You're younger than us. Anyway, no more of that. Okay, so here we are, 12:59. This is the end of the recording. You guys can have the Zoom room open as long as you want, but I got to run to Home Depot. I couldn't be more thrilled. I want to thank Beloved. I want to thank Marcy. I want to thank Danny, and I want to thank Kathy. We've got 5 topics for the Zoom call. I'm going to have to pick one. Maybe I'll record it. Maybe I'll put 5 copies on the internet and have 5 different titles. Sunday, September 10th. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave your comments below. Even more than your comments. If this ministry is ringing true for you, if our message, if our community, if our tribe feels resonant, please don't hesitate to join us any Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time, and bring us your fertilizer. We don't want, if you've got what you believe to be shit, we're going to look at it differently. We're going to join in what you believe to be shit. And the miracle is that it turns out to actually be fertilizer. Okay. So I just want to leave on that note. I can't thank Kathy enough for her songs. All of them will be in the
Yes.
description line
Thank
below.
you, Kathy. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right, you guys. So many thanks for keeping me psychiatrically sober for one more day.
Yeah.
God bless, and may the force be with you. Bye, everyone.
And also with